Didn't say Lazarus is dead. He called dead asleep, because death to us is death, but death to God is able to be received back up, resurrected, because nothing is impossible for God. Because what's on the inside of you is only been shown on the outside. But the light of God that God has given us access to by walking in Him, is able to show us on the outside, on the inside, on the outside. Because remember I said the light, your eyes depends on what is inside of you. What you consume through your eyes, the same way you consume through your mouth, is the same way whatever you consume with your eyes, you come into agreement, and that's what's inside of you, because this is what is in your soul, basically what you're watching. You see what I'm saying? So you have to learn to know, watch good things, watch things of light, watch things of God. If you watch things of darkness, you're going to realize you're going to have nightmares. If you watch things of God, you're going to realize you have a good sleep. You'll probably sleep with the Holy Spirit talking to you. You'll go to sleep, you'll wake up with a dream, and God's showing you something, a vision, your future. You just never know. But if you walk in the darkness, you're going to only receive darkness. So it says, he said this, and after that said, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him. So I just see God. But it says here, disciples said and answered, Lord, if he has fallen asleep, he will recover. Because if Lazarus fall asleep, like if he's dead, if he's sleeping like you're sleeping, he will recover. He will get back up. But then God used plain language to that now and says, however, Jesus had spoken of this death, but they thought that he was referring to natural sleep, because the word that God used, Lazarus is asleep, but I have to go there and awake him. To men, that don't sound right. That sound like, yeah, Lazarus is like just regular sleeping. If you use the word death for men to understand, that's why God spoke in the way, because why? He had the power to speak that way. So death wasn't death to him. But it says, and for your sake, I am glad that I was not there, so that you may believe, but let us go to him. Okay. Now it says here, then Thomas, who was called Didymus. So we all know that Thomas was the doubter, right? Who was called Didymus, the twin, said to the fellow disciples, let us go too, that we may die with him. So when Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. So remember this now. Jesus knew that Lazarus was like basically dead. But yet, he could have went sooner to save it. But guess what he did? He stayed in the Pacific area 2 more days, so Lazarus became dead. Because why? God knew that he was going to resurrect Lazarus. God knew that he was going to wake up Lazarus. So as I said again, your situation may be gone, and you think that there is no hope for you. You may think that there's no future for you, but we serve a God who only moves forward. He never goes backward. God is never going to bring you back. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. The enemy wants you to think that. Your thoughts want you to think that. Sometimes we need healing from ourselves, because we are the worst enemy. Yourself wants you to think that you're not going to go forward. You're not going to accelerate. But you want to say that no, that you serve a God that parted the Red Sea. You serve a God who raised Lazarus from the dead, and you believe God is going to bring you back. If he took you out of the light, darkness to bring it to light, no chance. But you see, this is what I'm saying. This is why a personal relationship is very important. Because if you go off of just what your friends say of their relationship with God, then how would you know what your relationship with God is? That's why you seek God for yourself. And you ask him to reveal himself to you. Be honest. He already knows you. But it says here now. Okay, so when Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away. And many of the Jews had come to see Martha and Mary. Okay? To comfort them concerning the loss of their brother. So, as you see already here that this is so good. Martha and Mary, brother died, Lazarus. But yet, these people that are coming to comfort Mary and Martha are not knowing that Lazarus is about to be awakened. But God did it in such a way that, listen, that nothing is impossible for God, but it's also significant meaning, reason why he made Lazarus dead. I'm going to get into that. But as you see right here, the people, the Jews, were coming to where this tomb was at to comfort Martha and Mary. Why? Because they are comforting Martha and Mary, but not knowing that God revealed this thing so perfect that these people are now here to see Lazarus awake from the dead, so that they now can see that happen in their physical eyes and know that Jesus, this man Jesus, who they're looking at, is not a regular person. All right? So when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him while Mary remained sitting in the house. So pause there. We all know that in the story of Martha and Mary, when obviously Mary was at Jesus' feet. I think it's Mary. Yeah, Mary was at Jesus' feet, and Martha was the one who was busy. And Martha was telling Mary, like, you know, listen, like, you need, like, God, like, why is she sitting at your feet? And, you know, you have to, they have things to do. We have dishes to wash. We have these different things to do. But yet, God told Mary that she's doing the right thing of sitting down there. I think it's Mary. I think it's Martha. I don't want to make the wrong decision. But I think it's Martha. I think it's Mary. Mary was sitting down at Jesus' feet. And Mary told Martha that Mary is doing the right thing. But in this scenario now, while Martha is busy, Mary's sitting at Jesus' feet. But at the same now, Martha now is the one who's going to look for Jesus while Mary stays home. While Mary stays home, Martha is the one who's going to find Jesus. Because why? She heard that Jesus is coming. Now, Jesus is coming, and she's going to go find Jesus. Now, I'm going to break this down in the simplest terms. Your problem, God already knows. But if you don't invite him in, how do you expect it to be solved? So, just like how Martha went and invite herself to go find Jesus, to bring him in. Because why? Jesus is coming, I'm going to go meet him. He's the only one that can help. So she went to meet him. How far would you go to go and find your resolution, your solution, which is Jesus Christ of Nazareth, by going towards him and inviting him in? And this is what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. You need to invite